Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. The Thargoids are still ever present out here, albeit with the story moving at a fairly slow pace. That said, a bunch of new Thargoids have turned up. These ones are the variant Basilisk, and they're somewhat tougher, somewhat harder than what we've seen up until now. A few players have spent the time trying to go out and interact with them, or even get into combat with them, and we'll get to that in just a bit. Other players, it seems, may well have just ignored them. Now the Basilisks only seem to be present in the system Electra, which of course is in the Pleiades Nebula, or to be more precise within the Pleiades star cluster. Now we don't know what has provoked the arrival of the Basilisks, aside from the fact that humans just keep on attacking the Cyclops. Upon the initial arrival of the Basilisk, some people were speculating that just maybe these Thargoids are a different race of Thargoids. But at the moment, there's no evidence to actually suggest that is the case. In fact, there's evidence to suggest the opposite. Some people have managed to summon a Basilisk by simply dropping too much interesting cargo for a Cyclops. So it would seem that they are very much a part of the same side. For those of you then who haven't yet seen a Basilisk aside from in screenshots, I did head out to one of them just to check it out. In appearance, it's essentially the same as the Cyclops, but with a very different colour scheme. In terms of its behaviour, it's very much the same. It will come over to you when you arrive and scan you, and then carry on about its business so long as you don't aggravate it. The difference comes in terms of its capabilities and defences. It has 5 hearts rather than the usual 4, and the size of its Thargon swarm is 64, so it's quite a bit larger. It's also capable of dealing out significant damage, and if 4 or 5 ships attack it, it's more than capable of completely shredding them. Now, that hasn't stopped players from actively killing one, and you can see here, this is from DJ Truthsayer's livestream last night, and if you see below, you'll be able to find a link to his Twitch channel. I highly recommend you go and check that out and watch one of his streams. Now, I may be wrong here, but from what I understand, they took this Basilisk on with 10 to 12 ships. They were able to kill it, so they can claim the first kill. However, in this particular case, the Basilisk was bugged, and that unfortunately has been confirmed by Frontier, a developer of which who was in the livestream chat at the time. So then, what about the new AX fighter? Well, unfortunately I haven't had too much opportunity to check it out in depth, but you can see here just how effective and how efficient it is at dealing damage. My gunship is completely unmanned, so I'm the only one actively shooting here at the Thargoid. And just look how quick its hull goes down. This, as you can tell, is the Cyclops variant, by the way, so it's the weaker of the 2 current iterations of Thargoids. But nonetheless, it seems that the AX fighter is going to be very, very efficient at dealing damage. Your mileage will vary, of course, depending on how effective a fighter pilot you actually are. The other alternative is to leave an NPC crew member in one of these. Here I'm in the fighter again, and my gunship is manned by an NPC crew member, and you can see that they're also capable of dealing quite a sufficient amount of damage to the Cyclops as well, even though they do use the wrong weapons from time to time. Probably makes sense to actually disable them if you do have any. But either way, it does seem that something has changed with the Cyclops, and it could quite possibly be a little bit easier to actually kill now. So if you haven't taken one of these on yet, or if you haven't killed one on your own, then now might be the time to give it a try. Across the other side of the inhabited bubble, something rather interesting has been going on with the player group, the Black Fleet. Now, over the previous months, they've been pushing back at the minor faction here, the Conservatives of Tiliala. And the Black Fleet have been so effective at doing this that they've essentially taken full control over the entire area here. And that also means that the Black Fleet is now jointly responsible for issuing permits to this system. Now this is a pretty new situation within Elite Dangerous. What this meant is that the original permit givers, the Conservatives of Tiliala, were no longer able to issue the permit because they'd been pushed back to their home system and you couldn't get to them without the aforementioned permit. So what's happened is that Frontier have created a new state. This new faction state is called Exiled, and it occurs when a permit-giving faction is blockaded within their own system. From now on, when this state is triggered, a megaship will be deployed to a neighbouring system. With the aforementioned permit-giving faction on board, and this means that players will still be able to obtain the necessary permits. So it's somewhat of an interesting situation, and it is of course quite reflective of some of the dynamic type of gameplay that occurs within Elite Dangerous. Ultimately, this is one of the areas of the game that could do with building upon in the Beyond series of updates in 2018. It's got huge amounts of potential here to very much make the galaxy a living and dynamic place. Now, we've already had some detailed information for the gameplay coming in 2018 in the form of the crime and punishment proposals. Frontier have said that they're going to be talking further about other updates within the game, and personally I hope that the background simulation is certainly going to be a part of that. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.